Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. It's almost time for WrestleMania 38 as Smackdown features two matches that couldn't fit into this year's Showcase of the Immortals. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the first April edition of the Blue Brand, as well as the wildest wrestling news and rumors you need to know, including The Undertaker's emotional Hall of Fame acceptance speech, Taker says never say never, Samoa Joe is all elite, Charlotte Flair reaches out to Becky Lynch, and more. As always, Wrestlelamia won't recap the matches, but look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Madcap wins Andre Battle Royal. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is a largely meaningless match, but it is entertaining, and tonight's victory by Madcap Moss furthered the tension between him and Happy Corbin, with Corbin dismissing Moss's win by pointing out he won the event back at WrestleMania 32. Are fans going to see Madcap's win as the moment his career turned the corner? That's unlikely, but if it does, it'll be the first time a wrestler has won the Andre Battle Royal and seen any significant improvement to their career. Ricochet wins. Ricochet's win over Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza was more than an exciting triple threat match. It was a chance for the WWE to show its fans that Ricochet's Intercontinental Championship win could last more than a few weeks. Ricochet fans were still smarting over the Intercontinental Champion's loss to Austin Theory on WrestleMania Raw, so this was a good way to make up for this blunder while also entertaining the fans. A good Mania pre-show. Tonight's edition of the Blue Brand made no bones about the fact that it was a glorified pre-show designed to build the fans' interest in this weekend's WrestleMania without burning them out with too many big angles or resolutions to feuds, although WWE didn't pull this off with the Drew McIntyre vs. Happy Corbin feud. This might have been an average show if it was a regular episode of Smackdown, but it served its desired goal, whetting the fans' appetite by showcasing the WWE's world-class roster and giving them angles, such as Vince McMahon threatening to take away Pat McAfee's WrestleMania match after Pat chased Austin Theory into Vince's office, to make them want to tune in to this weekend's show. The bad. Lazy booking. Another singles match turned tag bout. Even though tonight's SmackDown was a glorified pre-show, there was no excuse for falling back on the lazy booking trope of a singles match ending in interference, leading to a tag team match. If 2K expands its GM mode, it needs to add this as a booking option, if for no other reason than to simulate the ineptitude and laziness of WWE booking. Drew destroys Corbin. Does the WWE writing team understand the fundamentals of booking feuds? It's doubtful, as tonight featured Drew McIntyre not only dishing out a beating to Nemesis Happy Corbin, but recapturing his family sword Angela. Traditional booking would have Drew having to wait until WrestleMania to get his hands on Corbin and get his stolen property back. Instead, there's no reason for fans to want to see Drew versus Corbin, as fans know McIntyre can beat Corbin. WrestleLamia has said it before and will say it again, having a wrestler, let alone a babyface, wield a sword is ridiculous, as fans know no one is going to get cut. Now, if this was Combat Zone Wrestling or Game Changer Wrestling, things might be different. Week Charlotte Rousey build-up. This week's promo by SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair was serviceable, but the WWE shouldn't have one of its top workers cutting a workmanlike promo for one of WrestleMania's biggest matches. Some fans have no doubt that Flair's opponent Ronda Rousey will capture the belt, and it's almost as if WWE is treating this as such a foregone conclusion that it refuses to put any effort into the match's build-up. The downright ugly. Nothing ugly. This was clearly designed as a pre-show for Mania, and it did the trick. The WWE has too much going on for it to spend too much time booking SmackDown as anything substantial, so featuring two matches that could have appeared on WrestleMania was smart booking. Depending on the ratings, the WWE may want to make this a yearly tradition, with Raw serving as WrestleMania's go-home show and SmackDown being a warm-up show. News. Undertaker inducted into WWE Hall of Fame. Topping today's news is a report on The Undertaker's long-awaited and much-deserved induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. WWE CEO Vince McMahon inducted Taker, recalling The Undertaker's accomplishments in the ring, his leadership behind the scenes, and the many wrestlers he's battled during his career, a who's who of the grappling game. Unsurprisingly, the fans showered the Phenom with cheers and chants of thanks as he gave his acceptance speech. The Undertaker was clearly taken aback by the praise and the moment, at one time seeming to fight back tears. Taker acknowledged many of the wrestlers he's worked with throughout the years, including his friends from the Bone Street Crew, the backstage faction he and Yokozuna founded back in the mid-90s, and many others. One of the highlights of the speech was Taker accusing Kane of ripping off all his wrestling moves. This year's class was a small one, as Vader, Sharmell, and the Steiner brothers were the only inductees. There were no inductees into WWE's Legacy section. Former WWE superstar Shad Gaspard received this year's Warrior Award in recognition for his heroic sacrifice, where he gave his life so his son could be rescued first when a deadly riptide struck in the waters he and other swimmers were in near Venice Beach. Congratulations to this year's inductees. Undertaker returning to the ring? Not only was The Undertaker's acceptance speech a sensational one, it featured the perfect ending. In case you didn't see it, the fans gave Taker a thunderous ovation followed by a "one more match" chant. The Undertaker teased fans by saying, "Never say never." While it would be good to see The Undertaker enjoy a well-earned retirement, it seems the Phenom is savvy enough to know that wrestling retirements are never set in stone unless the stone happens to be a tombstone. Real reason Samoa Joe signed with AEW. Recently released WWE superstar Samoa Joe is now All Elite, but why? Wrestling's Samoan submission machine debuted at Ring of Honor's Super Card of Honor 15 pay-per-view, saving newly crowned undisputed ROH World Champion Jonathan Gresham from a 2-on-1 attack by Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal. AEW tweeted that Joe is now All Elite, but why AEW? Turns out Samoa Joe feels he is physically capable of wrestling now after an extended time off due to various injuries, including concussions. Joe told reporters after the show that he has no doubts about his ability to compete. More than confident. You have to understand, coming into WWE, that is me coming off a 15-year-plus career of probably the worst medical care a guy can get and going into a very, very arduous schedule. I did have a few injuries, one of them being the major concussion that took me out for a while. Samoa Joe's signing appears to be part of a bigger plan by AEW President Tony Khan. Khan's recent purchase of ROH seems to be leading towards Khan continuing to operate the company as a wrestling promotion and not just him acquiring its tape library. Judging from last night's pay-per-view, it seems Khan wants to use AEW talent in ROH, as seen by FTR winning the ROH Tag Team Championship and Wheeler Yuta, who is also now signed to AEW, winning the Pure Championship. Samoa Joe's long run in ROH could lead to him working with both AEW and ROH, and some fans believe Khan will eventually set things up for an ROH versus AEW program. Indeed, Joe talked about how Khan's purchase of ROH affected his decision to sign with AEW. It played a role, but the initial discussions, Tony was playing his cards very close to his chest and not revealing things, heavily alluding to it, but never quite revealing. But it did play a major role because obviously I have a lot of my legacy tied up with the promotion, and a lot of work that many fans have enjoyed over the years has been affiliated with the promotion. So to see it and to be a part of it and to help influence the future of it, it was kind of an unmissable opportunity. Joe, whose last championship was the NXT title, made his goals clear. World champion, that's why I'm here. I tried my bit at bettering the world of professional wrestling, but at the end of the day, I'm here in AEW and ROH to be a unified champion. I'm here to win the AEW Championship and Ring of Honor Championship. I'm here to win anything they put in front of me. Fans and wrestlers alike should expect the Samoa Joe they've come to know since he debuted in the Square Circle, a fierce competitor who takes no prisoners, asks for no mercy, and gives none. Joe reiterated this by telling the media, "I'm more than willing to go into the Owen Hart tournament and win that. This ain't a game anymore. AEW has a lot of feel-good moments, a lot of great wrestlers who respect each other. I don't respect nobody, until you're in the ring with me. I'm coming out there to smack people in the mouth and take what they have. That's pretty much my edict when I'm here. Broadcaster, mentor, good guy, I'm all of those things, but not here. Not here." Are you excited that Samoa Joe is back in wrestling? Let us know in the comments below. Is Edge getting his own faction? Interesting news concerning WWE Hall of Famer Edge, as Fightful Select is reporting that Edge is going to get his own heel faction. WWE is looking to add more to his presentation. We are told that there has been a particular pitch that has been talked about heavily from the creative side of things that would see Edge get a new stable. As for who might join, the site revealed, There have been several notable names that have been discussed for the group, including former WWE United States Champion Damian Priest. Edge is facing AJ Styles at WrestleMania on Night 2. Could fans see Edge's rumored new faction debut as early as Mania? Be sure to check back Wrestlelamia as we provide a full recap and analysis of this weekend's two-night show of shows. Charlotte Flair wants to be friends with Becky again. Last but not least, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair both have big title defenses this weekend, and while that might be enough to keep either woman busy, Charlotte Flair recently told BT Sport that her former friendship with Becky is still on her mind. I genuinely have nothing but respect for what Becky has accomplished. She really does make me better. The competitiveness is awesome. When I faced her at Survivor Series, I'm like, I'm the better woman. Doesn't matter that I lost, I still walk out as Charlotte Flair. Yeah, about becoming friends with Lynch again, absolutely. Seeing her as a mother, I'm so happy. Well guys, there you have it, WrestleLamia's look at the first April edition of Smackdown, including the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know in wrestling. Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.